Hello everyone. If you're watching this video, then you're about to enter into my reality. Welcome home, and welcome to Westview. Hey fellow Force users and fellow superheroes, what is up? It's Ahsoka Tano fan and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Oops, wrong show. That's better. So it's finale time. I am so excited. I know it's gonna be a huge episode already. There are still a lot of questions that I have that I hope that we can get the answers to this episode. This series has really done a good job at keeping us guessing all the way through. And so I think it'd be good for them now to kind of give us a nice closure. Last episode was huge. The last two episodes, actually. We found out that Agnes was Agatha Harkness. And in the last episode, we got to see her backstory. And then we got to see her try and get to the bottom of Wanda's powers and figure out how Wanda is able to do what she's doing. We also got to find out the meaning behind a lot of the commercials through those scenes that explored Wanda's past, with the toaster commercial being the Stark missile that never went off, with the Strucker watch commercial referring to the experiments that Wanda underwent. And it also showed that she had her powers all along, right? As some people pointed out before, it's heavily implied that she is the reason why that Stark missile never went off, because she might have unknowingly used her powers to prevent the last missile from going off. She was able to see the Mind Stone and the Strucker experiment, and then obviously the scientists couldn't see what was going on, only she could see. So that was again just another example of how she's had those powers all along. And then she had the vision, that moment where she saw herself as the Scarlet Witch, so that was pretty profound. And then of course by the end we see her twins that are being held by Agatha. I hope she doesn't kill them. I don't think that she will. I don't know if it'll get that dark. She may end up even being an ally to Wanda in all this potentially, right? Because we know at the end of the last episode, we were introduced to White Vision, and this is what Hayward has been up to all along. Making everyone else think that Wanda was the one that took Vision's body, when in actuality it was him. And so that was a really mind-blowing moment, because this whole time we were thinking that Wanda was the one that reanimated Vision's corpse, right? That's what we were led to believe. That's what Hayward led us to believe. And so in the last episode we saw that was not the case, and we got to see how she actually created the hex. So definitely in this episode I expect there to be a showdown between the two Visions, which is why I'm thinking maybe Agatha might join Wanda potentially to fight against White Vision. I do think it's gonna be a sad episode though. I just get that feeling, things don't seem to always be happy for Wanda. She rarely gets her happy ending, and so I wouldn't be surprised if the Vision Wanda created ends up being killed by White Vision, and then Wanda will have to try and bring White Vision back to the light, back to normal Vision again. And I don't know if we would see that in this episode, the finale, or if we would see that occur later on, in phase 4, of Marvel. I also wonder about the twins and what their future looks like outside the hex, right? When Vision that Wanda created tried to step outside the hex, he started to disintegrate because he was only made within the hex. But then Tommy and Billy were also made within the hex. So I don't know what will happen to them if they try and step out, or if somehow the hex collapses. We still have to find out a lot of things, such as what happened to the beekeeper, or the missing sword agent, who is the missing witness, what role does Dottie play in all this. I'm kind of actually starting to think that Dottie may be the missing witness. that they're referring to that Jimmy Woo mentioned back in episode 4. And the reason being is because she was the only person whose picture was not even on the board when they were trying to figure out who was inside the hex, right? If she's not the missing witness, she definitely has some type of role to play, because we know in episode 2, Agnes/Agatha did say that Dottie is the key to everything in this town, right? And so she would not say that for no reason. She could possibly have been trying to kind of mislead Wanda into thinking that Dottie was running the show and really, Agatha was pulling the strings. I don't know. This is the hill I'm gonna die on. I still think that Dottie has some relevance, and I think we'll see it in this episode. Maybe most likely with her being the missing witness. We still have to figure out what's gonna happen with the whole Ralph, Mephisto, Pietro storyline. I don't know if Pietro's Mephisto necessarily. I think that Agatha created him to try and get answers from Wanda. She must have known that Wanda lost her brother and was trying to use that to her advantage, right? But I think that she messed up along the way and accidentally gave her the wrong brother, which kind of piqued Wanda's suspicion, and so she wasn't able to get what she needed out of Wanda by doing that. And so I don't know if Pietro's necessarily going to be Mephisto, but he definitely is going to be working with Agnes. Whatever that'll look like, I'm not sure, because the last time we saw him was when he snuck up on Monica there at the end of 2 episodes back. And also Monica, we know, has her powers now, so she's going to be an ally for Wanda. As far as Mephisto goes, I still think at some point they probably have to show him. I don't think that they would be taking from the House of M storyline but then not have Mephisto. It's possible that Agatha is trying, I keep calling her Agnes, is trying to get to the bottom of Wanda's magic so that she can learn how to bring Mephisto back into existence. So it's possible he is her rabbit or related to a rabbit somehow. I know from last episode I was kind of thinking the rabbit might have something to do with her mother, that was shown in the beginning of the last episode, because right after it showed the confrontation between her mother and her, the scene changed to the rabbit, and then Agatha was saying to the rabbit, "You're right, she does seem surprised to see the real us." So by us, I kind of got the impression it was her mother that was the rabbit, maybe. Either way, that rabbit, I expect we'll find out more about it this episode. And if it somehow is related to Mephisto, Mephisto is someone I think I could almost see being teased at the end, like in an after credits scene, kind of like how Thanos was during all the movies. You would see him multiple times during an end credits scene, right? So I can kind of see that happening, and he could be one of the bigger villains going forward, kind of like how Thanos was. And lastly, will we still see that big cameo? I don't know now, because I kept reading that Paul Bettany was just trolling everybody, and the cameo he was referring to was actually himself as White Vision. And so, if so, that's brilliant. But let's say that there is still a cameo. He has said that the cameo was not Doctor Strange. I pointed out in my comments to some people that that doesn't necessarily mean we won't see Doctor Strange. It's possible that there could be Doctor Strange and another cameo, which is the cameo that's been teased all along, right? And so that could be Monica's aerospace engineer. So if that's the case, we'll get Monica's engineer plus Doctor Strange coming into the mix, which would be epic. And then, maybe they can somehow help in the fight against White Vision and Hayward. And so that would also help tie right into the Doctor Strange multiverse movie, which is coming out next year, I believe. And thank you for all the comments you guys have left. There have been so many good theories that I've seen, and predictions as to what's going to happen. So I've really enjoyed making these videos with you guys and kind of guessing together how the series is going to end, and now we're finally getting to see it. So yeah, I'm really excited. Time to take a look at the episode and see what's in store for us. I love how they showed how she created the hex. Epic. And I like the little transition there that showed her silhouette. Don't kill them, Agatha. She's trying to use her magic. Oh. Maybe they won't be allies. She's definitely the shark in the commercial, getting people to give her their magic and sucking the life out of them. Oh, he's here already? Uh-oh. What's his voice gonna sound like? Ultron? No. Never mind. He's gonna hurt her, I think. Yeah. Come on, break free. The real Vision. I was gonna say, what's taking you so long to get home? Oh, Vision's gonna die, man. Oh. Oh, fuck. You just forgot about your girl Monica like that? Oh, not again, man. Don't kill him a third time. It's off to a really good start. What an asshole. Oh! He called in the squad. Oh, he was bluffing. Come on, Dottie. Come help our girl Wanda. That's what he said to Agnes, right? In episode 2. Doctor Strange, right? Tilda Swinton's character? Dottie! There she is. Is Dottie gonna end up not being anyone significant? Where's Mr. Hart, though? We've never seen him again since the first episode. Westview. Ralph! Okay, so he is Ralph. Damn! Boner. Oh, that was easy. So he is Ralph, okay. I think we probably guessed that, guys, on one of many theories at some point. He is like his mom. Shoot, they better be careful. She might just snap. I knew that was coming. Wow. Her grief is literally killing them. Is she making another hex? No. She's gonna dismantle the hex? This could be part of Agatha's trap, though. You know, this could be like a trap to leave Wanda more vulnerable. So apparently in White Vision's head is an arc reactor. The same that was in Tony Stark's chest. Wait, oh my god, but then if she dismantles the hex, then what'll happen to Vision? And the twins? Yeah, he's coming apart already. Stop, Wanda, stop! Will she have to choose? I knew it! They will disintegrate. Ah, fuck it. Save your family. Sorry. She's got to find a way to bring them into existence outside the hex. They're such a cute family. Ah, fuck. They got through still. The military has to ruin everything. Always. In all the Marvel movies. Maybe Billy can help Wanda with her magic or something. Could they end up working together? Why are you saving them? Okay, sorry. I guess you could save them. Man, talk about multitasking. Are you sure you want the real Scarlet Witch, Agatha? Are you sure that's what you want? Careful what you ask for. Monica! Oh! Oh my gosh! Monica! We love this trio. We love it. Is Hayward leaving? Darcy! Yes! Sorry, I'm excited, guys. Is it related to the Hex somehow? Or is it Vision? Can it be a team? So he has those memories. Maybe the fake Vision will die, and then the White Vision will become the real Vision again. And then Wanda will have to see Vision die again, though, still. Ooh! Oh, she's playing with her mind. She's not gonna kill her, is she? I don't want Agatha to die. What in the Walking Dead is going on here? The same trick she tried back in the day. Act all innocent. Yeah, and then she turns them against her. She's getting her headpiece. I'm betting that silhouette we saw of her in the last episode, that will be her new outfit going forward in the upcoming movies. I bet you she can't give it to her though if she tried. It has to be something you're born with. Can't you see, Wanda, that it'll just kill you if you give her the power? Wanda, what are you doing? Come on now. Stop this. She's killing herself. Billy will have to maybe give her back her power or something, or help her get her power back.
Just like you.
That's the truth. Yeah, she can't take it, right? She cast a spell of her own, maybe? What's behind her there? Oh, the runes or something? She made her own runes? Ah, using her own words against her. Look at her crown. Here she goes again, playing victim. Don't kill her though. Maybe she'll send her to a different dimension or something. Taking all her power back. Is her outfit gonna change now, I think? It is! I didn't know it was this soon it was gonna change. But she's actually wearing it in the promo pic too. When you first click on the episode, that's the outfit she's wearing. Wow. She looks awesome. I need an outfit now, guys. It's her best outfit yet. Oh, crap.
Hey, that's some kind of getup you're wearing.
She's crying.
Leave the outfit.
Just like that. At least she didn't kill her. Oh, this is what I said. Remember at the beginning? Will he convince her to let him go? You know? Maybe he'll convince her to dismantle the hex. And maybe that's why it's gonna be emotional. She'll have to let her family go. I just love how the car is there. Aww. But I guess she achieved her purpose. She got the time with Vision she wanted, and, you know, she got to re-find herself as the Scarlet Witch. Like, I thought if her kids are supposed to be part of the Young Avengers, then how's that gonna work? Because right now I'm feeling like she's gonna have to let her family go and then return to the outside world. Oh. So Wanda's gonna dismantle the hex while they're both sleeping, I guess. Don't say see you tomorrow. That'll break my heart. So sad, damn. But at least she could recreate it anytime she wanted, technically. And then what'll happen to Agnes? Poor Wanda, man. I just feel for the girl. She just wants a normal life. Wait, what happened to White Vision? I'm blanking right now. Again, she just wants more time. That sums up the whole series. Oh my god, damn. Who's cutting the onions, though? This is like the scene from Endgame, I think. Oh my gosh. Whoa. It's pretty emotional, actually. So now, will they know? Yeah, they remember. So I guess Dottie was nothing then. I like this team up. It's so cute. Oh shit. Get out of there, Wanda. Wait, honestly, if she created Vision in the Hex and her kids, there's gotta be a way that she can create them in real life. She just has to learn how to use their powers so she can do that. Is that the end? Oh, they're taking us back through the other episodes. Well, that's it. I'm gonna keep this on though in case there's a post-credit scene. Is there an end credit scene? Oh, Hayward got arrested. What's in the theater? Nick Fury or something? Skrull! Off-world? Okay, now I have to see if there's another scene, maybe. Is this where Wanda is? It's Wanda, looks like. She's learning all the magic. So, did she just replicate herself there? She's probably gonna figure out how to bring them into real life, I'm thinking. And maybe that's how they'll join the Young Avengers. Okay, so definitely a lot to take in there. One of the things I wanted to talk about first was the whole conversation between the two visions about the ship of Theseus. And arguably, I feel like that was probably one of the most important scenes in the whole episode. You hear them talk about how if the planks are rotting and removed and replaced with new planks, is it still the ship of Theseus? And then, they end up coming to the conclusion that both are the true ship, and that the planks of wood are like memories, and the wood was touched by Theseus himself. So that is definitely relating to both visions, because they are both one and the same and yet totally different versions of one another, right? The Vision himself in this series is actually quite literally a memory, which is revealed at the end of the episode. He said he once had a voice with no body, and then now he's memory made real. Memories are important to the whole series, right? Even the Hex is literally a reflection of, or a remnant, I should say, of Wanda's past memories, such as with the sitcoms and, the Stark missile and the Strucker experiment related to the commercials. Yeah, I just thought that was a really important scene, and it basically is saying that Vision is still Vision regardless of all the changes that he's going through. And the same to be said about Wanda too. Wanda is still Wanda. As Agatha said, broken. She'll always be broken and flawed, just like the world she's trying to create, right? And we see that whether she's the Scarlet Witch, whether she's the Wanda, in her sitcom reality, she is still at her core dealing with all this emotional trauma and all this conflict. She has definitely leaned on Vision to help her cope with that, and that is quite literally shown in that final scene when she tells Vision, "You're both my sadness and my hope. Most importantly, you're my love." Because for Wanda, all those things are kind of they coexist with one another. So I really just like that whole scene between those two visions, and you see the moment where it looks like Vision tries to help White Vision access the memories that are there, and then that immediately changes him. You can see that when they come to the realization that they're on the same page, they literally even tilt their heads in sync, which is symbolic of the fact that they are in fact both Vision, even though they're different from one another. They are both the ship of Theseus, so to speak. And I just like also seeing the two of them there at opposite ends, yet being so in sync, because it shows us both sides of Vision. You have the potential for him to be emotionless, like how White Vision was initially, but then you also have the potential for him to be very human, which is the side that we've been seeing of Vision all along throughout this series. So both are Vision's potential. It also relates to what Wanda was saying at the end about family, the fact that, for real families, you'll never be able to leave one another no matter what, even if you tried. Just like the planks, doesn't matter if they are changed and reassembled, they'll still be family at the end of the day. And we also see a lot of grief in that end scene when Wanda is essentially saying goodbye to her family, but we see it kind of in a different light. We see it more as Vision described it back in the last episode, which was, what is grief if not love persevering, right? And so we see Wanda's love persevering here. Family will always be together no matter what. Love will always persevere no matter what. Oh yeah, and speaking of White Vision, that was the last we saw of him after his conversation with the Hex Vision. And so he didn't make another appearance in the episode. So I definitely expect to be seeing more of him later on down the road, and Wanda, if anything, will probably have to maybe help him go back to the Vision that he was before, that we saw back in Infinity War. So they definitely hinted that that is not the last time, the last we've seen of White Vision. The question is, can he go back to being the Vision before, or the original ship of Theseus, or will he stay as is, and then kind of become a little bit of a different Vision than what Wanda is used to. Either way, I do think that we have to see him again, and Wanda and him have to meet again as well. I love that the episode ended with Wanda in the same spot as she was when she first created the Hex, which was at home. When we saw in the last episode how Wanda created the Hex, the first thing Vision says to her is, "Welcome home," right? And then in this episode, at the end, before Wanda says goodbye to them, Vision says, "Let's go home." And then Wanda ends up right in the same spot, which was supposed to be her home with Vision when she dismantles the Hex. And you could tell that Wanda looks different as well by the end of it than when she did when she first went to create the Hex. She doesn't look as grief-stricken as she did initially. She looks like she's finally had the time that she has been longing to have with Vision and with her family. And you really see that just before she says goodbye to her family. She thanks them for choosing her to be their mom, which is ironic because they didn't really choose. She chose them to be her sons. But you can just tell that she just reaches a point where she is prepared to let go, where she knows it can't go on forever. And what she's doing to the people of Westview is wrong, and that she does have to let them go now. She can't keep them in that state just because of her own grief. And so she really reaches a completely different point by the end of the series than she was at the beginning of the series. We really see her as kind of being someone that we empathize with. Even Monica herself says, "I would have done the same thing and brought my mom back if I had the chance." So Monica has always kind of been that person that sympathizes with Wanda as well, right? Wanda ended her sitcom show just as she ended the Hex, and even though it didn't last long, as Vision said at the end of Age of Ultron, a thing isn't beautiful because it lasts, right? And I assume the follow-up to that statement would be, a thing is beautiful because it happened, right? And in this case, I think that's how Wanda's kind of looking at it. She now has this beautiful memory that she can probably make real at any point in time again, which was kind of hinted at the end scene there, the post-credits, where we see her trying to learn more about her magic, and we see her hear Tommy and Billy's voices, which was the same scene that happened at the beginning of this episode when Agatha kind of has them in a chokehold. So she kind of revisits that moment in her mind, it looks like, and she's trying to maybe learn how to become even more powerful with her magic, to potentially bring her kids back, I think, into reality. It's kind of a side note, but when you go to actually select WandaVision to watch it on Disney Plus, if you look at the promotional image they have there, you'll notice that Wanda is actually wearing the outfit that we see her wear in this episode as the Scarlet Witch, which is pretty interesting. And you see a central TV, which was Wanda's sitcom, and you see surrounding TVs, one of which shows Darcy, Wu, and Monica on the side. All these things are kind of revolving around Wanda's sitcom world, which is the perfect reflection of the series. And so yeah, that's just kind of an interesting side note. And so that brings me to my next point, which is the role that Agatha played in this. Agatha really helped her become the Scarlet Witch, which is ironic because she was trying to get Wanda to surrender her magic to her. So it's ironic because just as Agatha was observing Wanda this whole time and trying to learn more about her magic, Wanda was doing the same thing when Agatha had her in her basement there. This episode really convinced me more than anything that Agatha is supposed to be the shark in that commercial we saw with the kid on the island, convincing people to basically give their magic to her, and in doing so, draining them of life. But Wanda is arguably one of the survivors mentioned in the commercial because she uses Agatha's own magic against her, and then ends up taking back all of her magic as well as a little bit of Agatha's magic, it looked like. So I guess we can call Agatha Sharkness. That shark commercial could also be related to Wanda, though, and the Westview residents, because you can see that she promises to keep them safe with her magic, but essentially she is draining them of life by keeping them in this world and keeping them away from their families. And so it's interesting because Agatha and Wanda are very different yet very alike at the same time. I am wondering though, what will happen to Agatha now that the Hex has been dismantled? There's nothing to confine her to that space from what I can see. I don't know if Wanda took some of her magic away or all of her magic away, so I don't know how much magic Agatha has, but that's definitely not the last that we've seen of her. I expect her to make a comeback, and she might even try and use all those Westview residents against Wanda somehow. So a couple more big reveals. One, Ralph, we found out in this episode, was Pietro, which kind of makes sense because he's the only person we've seen working with Agatha in the series so far, and he has literally been kept in the dark all along until Agatha reveals that, yes, you know, he was my eyes and ears. And that could also be what Agnes meant when in a previous episode she said that Ralph looks better in the dark. I don't know if she meant because she's literally keeping him in the dark, kind of like her dark secret, or if he's still Mephisto somehow. I don't know. I wonder if Ralph is supposed to really look different, but Agatha has just had him take on the form of Pietro, or maybe that's how he's really supposed to look, which would be really confusing. I feel like you can't bring the Quicksilver from X-Men into WandaVision and then do nothing with him, so there has to be more going on there, in my opinion. We also didn't see the rabbit in this episode, which is interesting. It was awesome to see Monica's powers in this episode. That moment with her and Tommy and Billy was really cool to watch. And I love the team up. Hopefully we'll see them again outside the Hex. And then obviously at the end we see the Skrull come, and she said she was sent by a friend of Monica's mother, and she says it's a he. So maybe that could be Nick Fury, because at the end of Spider-Man Far From Home, in the post-credit scene, we find out that Nick Fury is actually on some type of Skrull spaceship. So that's probably most likely where Monica's gonna go next. So that means she's gonna meet Nick Fury and potentially become part of the Avengers. I really like how her and Wanda came to a common understanding as well. You can tell that they leave each other as allies, and all along Monica has been an ally in trying to warn Wanda about this. Although I think this was a great episode, I think it was a great way to wrap everything up. There are a couple things I maybe wasn't super crazy about. So for one, I think that Paul Bettany, I love him, but probably should not have teased such a big cameo. I think it was him and Elizabeth Olsen. I heard that he was supposed to be himself. That was the cameo, so it was kind of a joke, which is fine. But I think the only problem with that is it definitely kind of raised the expectation a little bit more. I feel like a lot of us were waiting to see that big cameo that was supposed to be on par with Luke Skywalker in The Mandalorian. We were expecting Doctor Strange or Magneto or Professor X. And so when you have these expectations and then there ends up not being that cameo at the end, it kind of naturally makes you feel a little bit disappointed. The other thing I wasn't really crazy about was the fact that they didn't really do anything with Dottie. Now, I suppose in the end, Agatha was just trying to lead Wanda in the wrong direction, making her think that Dottie was the one pulling the strings when really it was Agatha all along, you know? But I don't like how Agnes said Dottie is the key to everything in this town, but then yet she ended up being no more or less significant than any of the other Westview residents. I just kind of feel like if you have a line like that, especially with Marvel, I know they never put anything anywhere at any time by accident. I kind of expected that to be followed up somehow. We still don't know why, of all the Westview residents, she was the only one that was not on that board when they were trying to identify everyone. And so, yeah, I kind of wish they did more with her. But I mean, overall, there were so many great things about the episode too. We got to see Wanda become the Scarlet Witch. We got to see her make that tough decision where she chose everybody else over her own happiness, just like what she had to do in Avengers Infinity War when she had to kill Vision in order to stop Thanos and save the world, right? So she's kind of having to do the same thing again. That was definitely a big moment for her, and just shows that she is not truly a villain, but rather she's someone that will always be broken, as Agatha said. They've left a lot of doors open here for the story to be further explored, which is good. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what they have in store for us in the future. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video and the cosplay. And Let me know down below in the comments what you thought of the episode and what you thought of the series overall. Did it pan out the way that you were expecting? How do you feel about the transition from us being in the sitcom to, us being on the outside world, to both those worlds kind of fusing together? I thought that transition was very powerful. It's something that I mentioned in my earlier videos, was that the style of writing for the series is definitely unique, and it makes the story feel that much more powerful. And now for a special guest, as I mentioned in the beginning of the video. Want to come up now?
Hi, Ahsoka Tano fanland.
Hey guys, this is my mom. So she's also been watching WandaVision. Like me, she's kind of a casual fan. Like, we've seen the Marvel movies and the Avengers and all that, but we're not like super comic savvy or anything like that.
That's for sure.
Yeah. No, there's so much to know in Marvel. You can get lost in the franchise. It's so big. But yeah, so you just finished watching the finale as well.
I did.
What did you think of it, and what did you think of the series?
Well, the series, to be honest, like, it kind of started off kind of slow for me, but then I got totally hooked. The ending, the season finale, was there was a lot going on, and it was kind of hard to kind of grasp what was really going on all at once. I do like the after credits scenes because it kind of gives me hope that maybe Vision and the kids will come back to life somehow. I don't know what's in the comics, so forgive me. But I've got to say that I really enjoyed the season finale, and Vision is my favorite.
Yeah,
I could close my eyes and listen to him talk all day.
He does.
I just love him. So if somehow he can come back, yeah, I would just love that. I would just love it.
I agree. And plus, you still have the white Vision out there.
Yeah, what the heck happened to him? He just kind of
I know.
Went into the yeah. What happened to him? I don't know.
Yeah, he pulled a Gamora. Gamora did the same thing from Guardians. Just took off.
Also, Ralph was a little bit of a surprise. I never thought that Ralph would have been him. That guy. Yeah. I that kind of threw me off. I was thinking everybody else, the mailman, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, so that kind of threw me off a little bit too. So, but yeah, I enjoyed it. I think they tied everything up really well. They didn't have a lot of time, to tie everything up, but they did manage to tie everything up. And like I said, hope Vision and the kids come back, because I haven't had enough of them for sure.
I think they will, though, because
I hope so.
In the comics, they're supposed to be part of the Young Avengers, Tommy and Billy, which is, I don't actually know a whole lot about it myself, but I've just learned from you guys and from reading that they're supposed to be in the Young Avengers. So I think this will probably not be the last we've seen of them. But yeah, but I agree. Vision has really grown on me, because in the movies, I always thought he was kind of cool. Oh, who's this Vision guy? But this series really just developed his character and Wanda's character so well. They're really up there with my favorite.
Yeah, Avengers, they really click. They really click. So and who do you think Monica's supposed to meet up there? Do you think it's Fury, or what do you think?
Yeah, I'm thinking Fury, because when they first called her to the theater, I was thinking, oh, maybe Fury's there, because he's always in these sketchy places, waiting in your house for you or whatever. But it wasn't him at the actual theater. But yeah, when that lady revealed herself as a Skrull, it made me think it could be Fury, because at the end of Spider-Man Far From Home, the end credits scene, they showed Fury in some Skrull ship. I don't know what he was doing.
I kind of vaguely remember that, actually.
Yeah. So it's kind of weird that he was looking at some beach background or something. So.
Oh yeah. Okay, right.
So I guess that kind of shows or implies that we'll be seeing more of Monica, perhaps fighting alongside the Avengers, which would be awesome.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, if we can get her and Wanda together, I still want to see them team up. That'd be cool.
Yeah, that'd be kind of cool. Yeah. And then you know what? It seems like that's a possibility, because they're not enemies, so
exactly.
Yeah.
And
so
Monica's been there for her since day one, basically.
Yeah.
You gotta come with me. We're gonna stop Hayward together. Hayward's up to something, so she knew from the beginning. So but I
can't wait for next season. That's for sure.
I know. Hopefully, I think they're talking about renewing it potentially, just because of the popularity. I don't know if they expected it to be as popular as it was, or maybe they did. I don't know. Marvel.
How can you not expect a Marvel series to do well? Come on, guys. Yeah. Seriously.
I really think this is one of the best series that they've done yet. So we'll see. Hopefully more Vision, more Tommy and Billy, more Wanda, more Scarlet Witch, more Agatha, you know.
Yeah, she was cool.
After that badass theme song, like, you gotta have more of her too, you know.
Yeah,
and everyone should get their own
her
theme song now. Yeah.
Yeah, I really did. She was good.
She was good. Yeah, she was really good. So acting was top notch in this series.
Yeah, it really was.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, we're gonna sign off now. That's it from us. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and also share the video if you want to. You know, you don't have to.
Great talking to you guys.
Here's my mom. Thank you for allowing her to, you know, come on and share her thoughts too.
I didn't have much thoughts, but yeah.
No, but I'm happy that you finally got to meet my mom, and and maybe she'll be making more appearances in the future. So see you next time, guys.
Bye.
Until next time, until the next show. Take care.